George VI kind of became a hero to him because David was a serious stammerer. Mm-hmm. He was such a simple, seemingly simple, beautiful character.
Geoffrey Rush transforms into anyone: a tormented pianist, a mad marquis, a pirate ghost. The Australian master arrived late to international fame. He was 45 when Shine changed everything.
Is that you, Doctor? There's no more hot water, Sylvia. Where does it go?
Dave, I want you to meet someone.
Before that, decades mastering theater in Brisbane and Adelaide, training in Paris with Jacques Lecoq, learning physical storytelling, movement as language. Rush studied mime and mask work in France during the mid-1970s.
I knew that we were looking at a very interesting and fascinating period of history.
Lecoq taught him freedom, how the body tells stories words cannot, how imagination creates reality. These lessons stayed with Rush forever. They shaped every eccentric character he plays. The films Rush loves reveal his obsessions: silent cinema, physical comedy, European art house, epic Russian literature, clever documentary tricks. Each movie taught him something about transformation, about losing himself in another life. These aren't just favorites, they're blueprints for genius. 10 films that shaped the actor who brings madness to life with such beautiful precision. 10. City Lights, 1931. Charlie Chaplin's silent masterpiece makes Rush weep. The tramp falls for a blind flower girl. He becomes a boxer to pay for her surgery. Pure pantomime tells the story. No dialogue needed, just movement and music. Rush discovered this in his 20s while studying in Paris. Something about Chaplin's sweetness pierced him. Physical comedy, the pathos, how silence speaks louder than words.
It's based on rage and pain, so that's very dimensional.
Chaplin showed Rush what Lecoq was teaching: the body as an instrument, comedy as truth. The final scene destroys audiences. The girl regains sight and recognizes her benefactor. Chaplin's face shows everything: hope, fear, love, heartbreak. Rush learned from this moment how stillness can shatter you. Every eccentric Rush plays Chaplin's DNA: the physicality, the vulnerability beneath the comedy, the understanding that clowns feel deepest. City Lights taught him transformation begins with the body. That silent cinema remains the purest form. 9. War and Peace. 1966, Sergei Bondarchuk's Russian epic runs 7 hours across 2 parts. Tolstoy's novel becomes a cinematic monument. Bondarchuk directs and stars as Pierre. The achievement staggers imagination. 50,000 Russian soldiers fill battle sequences. Real armies creating real chaos. Rush calls this a masterpiece.
Very free, improvisational, playful quality.
Forget CGI. This is pure scale, pure ambition. In the foreground, intimate dialogue, characters wrestling with philosophy. In the background, history exploded. The juxtaposition mesmerizes. Pierre's journey captivates Rush. The searching intellectual, the man trying to find meaning in catastrophe. Bondarchuk plays vulnerability within epic scope, personal pain against national trauma. Rush learned from this balance. The Napoleonic battles dwarf anything Hollywood attempted. Borodino unfolds like living history. You feel the weight, the chaos, death. Rush absorbed how epic filmmaking respects intelligence, how intimate character moments anchor spectacle. War and Peace proved ambition and artistry can coexist. 8. The Third Man, 1949. Carol Reed's noir classic haunts post-war Vienna. Joseph Cotten searches for Harry Lime. Orson Welles finally appears in that famous doorway. A cat, a light, a smile. Cinema's greatest entrance. The zither score cuts through rubble. Anton Karas creates atmosphere through strings. Rush loves craftsmanship.
As an actor, I was more inspired and drew a lot of...
How every element serves the whole. The Dutch angles, the shadows, the sewer chases, Vienna becomes a character itself. Wells's Ferris wheel speech captures everything. Harry Lime justifying murder through philosophy. Charm disguising monstrosity. Rush studied this performance intensely. How villains seduce audiences. How intelligence makes evil compelling. The film taught Rush about moral ambiguity, about charm as a weapon, about how post-war cinema captured uncertainty. Reed and Wells created something timeless, a thriller that's also poetry. Rush carries this influence into every morally complex character, understanding that darkness and light intertwine. 7. The Great Dictator, 1940. Charlie Chaplin's first talking picture attacks fascism head-on. He plays dual roles, a Jewish barber and dictator Adenoid Hinkle.
Maschinenmenschen mit Maschinenverstand und Maschinenherzen. Ihr seid keine Maschinen.
Satire meets physical comedy. Politics meets pantomime. Released before America entered World War II, Chaplin risked everything mocking Hitler. Rush discovered this alongside City Lights, but The Great Dictator showed Chaplin's range. The barber sequences deliver classic slapstick, the shaving scene with Brahms, pure, silent cinema genius. Then Hinkle appears, dancing with a globe balloon, ranting in fake German gibberish. Chaplin transforms completely between roles. The final speech breaks the fourth wall. Chaplin addresses audiences directly, pleading for humanity, for kindness. The tonal shift stuns. Comedy becomes a sermon. Entertainment becomes activism. Rush learned how performers can challenge power.
It made me head more in that direction as well, you know what I mean?
How comedy disarms before delivering truth. Chaplin proved artists have responsibility beyond entertainment. The Great Dictator taught Rush that transformation serves purpose, that playing extremes, barber and dictator, reveals our shared humanity, that courage means risking everything for what matters. 6. Zelig, 1983. Woody Allen invents a character, Leonard Zelig, the human chameleon, a man who transforms into whoever surrounds him. Allen constructs a complete fake documentary, newsreel footage, archival interviews, all manufactured brilliance. Rush loves ingenuity. How Allen used early CGI to place Zelig with historical figures, hanging out with Cole Porter, visible at William Randolph Hearst's estate. The technical achievement amazes. 1983 and Allen's already bending reality. The film comments on identity, on American anti-heroes, on how we become what others expect. Zelig disappears into crowds, no authentic self remaining, just reflections. Rush recognized himself in this concept, actors as chameleons, disappearing into roles. Allen showed transformation as pathology and gift simultaneously. Zelig taught Rush about the cost of shapeshifting, how actors lose themselves finding characters. The documentary format proves cinema can invent anything, make audiences believe complete fabrications. 5. The Life and Death of Peter Sellers, 2004. Rush embodies comic genius Peter Sellers. The HBO biopic explores Sellers' fractured psyche, a man with no fixed self, just characters and masks.
If Peter'd had a regular routine like, I might have been able to teach him something about life the way I saw it.
Rush won an Emmy, Golden Globe, SAG Award for this performance. This film matters personally. Rush played an actor who couldn't stop acting. Sellers lived through personas: Inspector Clouseau, Dr. Strangelove, Chance the Gardener. No Peter remained beneath, just empty space where identity should be. Rush understood Sellers intimately. The Lecoq training prepared him. Physical transformation, mask work, becoming another. The film shows how genius destroys, how talent becomes a curse. Sellers abused wives, alienated children. Comedy masked depression. Playing Sellers taught Rush about acting's dangers, how disappearing into roles can mean never returning. The biopic captures this tragedy. Sellers died searching for himself. Rush learned from this cautionary tale. The cost of transformation. Why actors must remember who they are. 4. Shine, 1996. Scott Hicks' biopic changed Rush's life forever. He plays David Helfgott. The tortured pianist is broken by ambition and abuse.
Certo, non sono pratico, Killian, non sono pratico per niente.
Perdi l'aereo, Killian!
At 45, Rush became an international star overnight. Oscar, BAFTA, Golden Globe, SAG Award. Helfgott's story resonated deeply. Childhood trauma, musical genius, mental breakdown. The journey from prodigy to patient to performer again. Rush inhabited complete madness with such tenderness, such humanity. He made the incomprehensible comprehensible. The piano sequences required months of preparation. Rush learned Rachmaninoff's Third Concerto, the Rach 3 that destroyed Helfgott. Physical commitment meeting psychological truth. The performance moves because Rush never condescends, never treats madness as spectacle. Shine taught Rush that broken people deserve dignity, that mental illness doesn't erase humanity. The film launched his Hollywood career, but it also confirmed his approach. Total transformation, complete commitment. Every risk was rewarded. Helfgott became Rush's defining role, the one that proved Australian eccentricity could conquer cinema. 3. The King's Speech, 2010. Tom Hooper's drama explores unlikely friendship. Colin Firth plays King George VI, a man crippled by stammering. Rush is Lionel Logue, the eccentric speech therapist who heals him. Rush earned his 4th Oscar nomination.
David, than you ever do with me.
Because you're bloody well paid to listen.
Bertie, I'm not a geisha girl.
The chemistry between Firth and Rush elevates everything. Two theater veterans circling each other, finding rhythms, building trust. Logue treats royalty like regular people, breaking protocol to create healing. Rush plays working-class confidence against aristocratic shame. The techniques come from theater, voice work, breathing exercises, physical loosening. Logue uses what Rush learned at Lecoq, how the body affects the voice, how tension creates blockage. The therapy sessions become masterclasses in performance. The King's Speech shows Rush's range, not the madman or pirate, the mentor, the healer, the man who sees past titles to human struggle. The film won Best Picture. Rush lost his Oscar, but the performance endures, proof that character actors can anchor prestige cinema. 2. Shakespeare in Love, 1998. Tom Stoppard and Mark Norman imagine young Shakespeare. Joseph Fiennes plays Will, out of money, out of ideas. Then he meets Viola. Gwyneth Paltrow ignites his genius. Rush plays theater owner Philip Henslow, a man dodging creditors while mounting Romeo and Juliet. The film celebrates theatrical chaos, rehearsals descending into madness, actors forgetting lines, sets collapsing, but somehow art emerges. Henslow embodies theater's eternal optimism. It will all work out, his motto, his faith. Rush brings delicious comedy to every scene. The panic, the schemes, the desperate tap dancing around disaster. He understands theater people intimately, their mania, their passion, their refusal to acknowledge reality. Shakespeare in Love earned Rush his 2nd Oscar nomination, supporting actor. He lost to James Coburn, but the role showcased Rush's lighter touch, his comic timing, his love for theater itself. Henslow represents every producer, every director, everyone who believes art matters more than sense. 1. Pirates of the Caribbean gore. Verbinski transforms Disney ride into blockbuster phenomenon. Johnny Depp reinvents screen piracy as Captain Jack Sparrow.
You seem somewhat familiar. Have I threatened you before?
But Rush steals scenes as Barbossa, the undead pirate captain, cursed, hungry, magnificent. This franchise made Rush globally recognizable, not just critics' darling, actual movie star. Barbossa combines menace and hunger. He cannot taste food, cannot feel pleasure. The curse denies him everything. Rush plays this deprivation with relish. The joy Rush brings to villainy captivates audiences. Barbossa loves being bad. The theatrical gestures, the rolling delivery. Every line was savored. Rush applies classical training to popcorn entertainment, making blockbusters feel Shakespearean. He returned for multiple sequels, Barbossa evolving across films, villain becoming anti-hero. Rush proved character actors can anchor franchises, can bring depth to fantasy. Pirates represent Rush's philosophy, total commitment regardless of genre, making every role, even undead pirates, completely real. The ultimate transformation artist never stops transforming. 10 films that shape Geoffrey Rush's extraordinary transformations, from Chaplin's silence to Disney's seas, from Russian epics to Woody Allen's tricks. Each taught him something about disappearing into another life. Which of these films taught you about the art of transformation? Subscribe for more deep dives into acting legends and their inspirations.